so much. I feel very honored to be here today. My association with the song, Coca-Cola of the Teach the World to Sing, was that in 1965 I wrote my very first hit song with a friend of mine called Roger Greenaway. And it's important because that song, which was You Got Your Troubles, I Got Mine, which went, I see that worried look upon your face. You got your troubles, I got mine. And if you're old enough, you might remember that song. Thank you. Well, the fact is, a man called Bill Backer, who worked at McCann Erickson, an advertising agency in New York, who handled the Coca-Cola accounts. Bill Backer, who also handled Miller Beer, fell in love with that song, and he loved the way the group sang it. So later that year, he came over to London and wrote some commercials for Coca-Cola with us. And they were just radio spots, and they went out, they were like 58-second spots for radio. And they did pretty damn good. So Bill started a relationship with us, which went on for many years, of writing jingles, 2 or 3 spots of jingles every year. Sometimes we come over to New York, sometimes they come to London. Well, fast forward to 1971, the summer of 1971. It was the period of brotherhood of man, love thy neighbor, no matter what color or creed you are, you know. And Coke decided they wanted something rather anthemic to express how Coca-Cola could bring people together. And they approached Bill Backer, and Bill Backer said, well, I've got this song, which we'd written about a year before, called I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, which came about because Roger Greenaway and I had written a song called True Love and Apple Pie, which was a real dog. I'm telling you, it was a bad song, but it had one redeeming feature. It had a very pretty melody. And in 1970, Bill Backer, who come up with this idea for a brand new jingle called It's the Real Thing. In the back of your mind, what you're hoping to find is the real thing. To replace the old jingle, which was things go better with Coca-Cola, things go better with Coke, which is the one we worked on for years. Anyway, we wrote this jingle, I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, to this old tune of Roger's and mine. And we got paid our fee, and we thought that was the end of that. Well, like I say, later on in 1971, Coke decided they wanted an anthem. And Bill Backer played in this tune, I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, and Coca-Cola loved it. And they allocated $100,000 to make a jingle. In those days, there were no video, it had to be filmed. Well, $100,000 in 1971 is like $1 million now. It was a lot of money, so they were very serious. And the camera crew, headed by a man called Harvey Gabor, great name, came over to England. They spent 3 days trying to film it. Well, being England, it rained every bloody day. So Harvey decided they had to move it somewhere where it was guaranteed sunshine. They took the crew to Rome and got a lot of kids from all the embassies there, all different colors and creeds, you know. And they went on a hillside and tried to film it. Guess what? It rained every day. Eventually, they got to film it, all these kids on the hillside grabbing their Coke bottles. And it was very successful, but Harvey had gone $150,000 over budget. The end of the filming, Harvey got the sack. He didn't know then he just cut the best jingle ever, you know, the best commercial filmed ever. But he got the sack, poor devil. I hope he's worked since. Anyway, again, we'd been paid, so there was nothing else to it. The jingle was going out and on TV. Well, it went out on TV in the fall of '71, and immediately there was a huge response. In fact, Coca-Cola and the bottling companies received about 100,000 letters asking where people could buy the tune or the sheet music or whatever. Well, of course, it wasn't available. But a man called Billy Davis, who was in charge of the production of music and jingles, thought, wow, So we went in the studio with a band called, a group I should say, called the Hillsiders. And cut the song and asked Coca-Cola if they minded if it went out as a record. Well, Coke didn't like the idea of it going out as a record. They thought it would tarnish somehow the image of Coca-Cola if we were seen to be making money from Coca-Cola. Or from this particular song. I know, that's rather funny. They said if the songwriters would give the first $80,000 of their income to the UNESCO Children's Fund, then we could go ahead and put a record out. Well, 80,000, you know. I didn't think it was going to earn 20,000. But 80,000 in today's money is about $800,000. It was quite a commitment for the writers. Anyway, the record went out and started jumping up the charts immediately. So Billy Davis went to the group who originally recorded the commercial, they were called the New Seekers, and cut a version with them, and that went out as well. And for the next 2-3 months, these two records vied with each other, and they went up the charts, all the way to the top 10, which is something that happens very seldom with one song. Anyway, it was a great success, and I'm glad to say I still have a relationship with Coca-Cola. Well, me and a few friends like Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Captain Morgan. We still get together socially. And here's that song anyway. It was written on a ukulele, by the way. Oh, never wash a guitar. I got to sing this song. I went to Washington once, and I got to sing this song for the president of the United Dairy Farmers, and he loved it. I hope you like it as much. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I would like to see the world for once all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I would like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love, grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. It's the real thing. Coke is in the back of your mind. Coca-Cola, what you hoping to find? Oh yeah, it's the real thing, and now you know all there is to know. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful